I'm 83 years old. Even now, saying that out loud feels unreal. Not because I'm afraid of the number, but because, in my mind, I'm still the same person I was decades ago. The same thoughts, the same memories, the same unfinished conversations. Time didn't feel like it was moving fast while I lived it. It only feels fast when you turn around and look back. People often ask me if I'm happy now. That question always makes me pause, because for most of my life, I thought I knew exactly what happiness was. I was completely wrong. When I was young, happiness felt simple to define. Happiness was success. Happiness was money. Happiness was being respected. Happiness was reaching a point where life finally felt secure. I believed happiness was something you earned after years of effort and sacrifice. I told myself, first, I'll work hard. Then I'll enjoy life. That sentence shaped my entire life, and it quietly ruined my understanding of happiness. I grew up believing that struggle was proof of progress. If I was tired, I told myself it meant I was doing something right. If I was stressed, I told myself it meant I was important. If I was busy, I felt valuable. Rest felt like laziness. Stillness felt like weakness. So I stayed busy. I filled my days with responsibilities, goals, and obligations. I measured my worth by how much I could endure. I didn't realize I was training myself to ignore joy. I postponed everything that mattered. I postponed rest. I postponed connection. I postponed presence. I believed there would always be time later. Later became my favorite promise. Later I'll slow down. Later I'll travel. Later I'll enjoy my family more. Later I'll take care of myself. Later I'll be happy. Later sounded responsible. Later sounded smart. Later felt safe. No one warned me that later has a way of never arriving. There were people who tried to reach me. People who loved me. They spoke to me while my mind was elsewhere. They shared their thoughts while I was planning tomorrow. They wanted my attention, but I only gave them pieces of it. I thought being physically present was enough. It wasn't. One evening, someone I loved looked at me and said quietly, "You're always here, but you're never really with me." I smiled. I brushed it off. I told myself they didn't understand the pressure I was under. What I didn't understand was what I was losing. At the time, my life looked successful from the outside. I had achieved many of the things I once dreamed of. Stability, comfort, recognition. But something inside me felt strangely empty. I didn't talk about it. I didn't question it. I just worked harder. I thought the emptiness meant I hadn't reached the next level yet. So I kept chasing. Years passed quietly, not with explosions or dramatic moments, but with routines. Days blended into months. Months blended into years. I kept telling myself I was building a better future. I didn't realize I was trading my present for a future that kept moving further away. The first moment I truly questioned my idea of happiness didn't come from a tragedy. It came from silence. I remember standing alone in a room filled with things I had worked decades to afford. Everything was exactly how I thought I wanted it. And yet, I felt nothing. No pride. No excitement. No peace. Just a heavy, quiet emptiness. That moment scared me more than failure ever had. Because failure at least gives you something to fight. Emptiness gives you nothing. At 83, I understand something that took me most of my life to see. Happiness was never waiting at the end of my effort. It wasn't hiding behind success or security. It lived in moments I rushed through. Moments I postponed. Moments I assumed would always be there. They weren't. I missed conversations I can't have now. I missed laughter I didn't stop to listen to. I missed mornings that could have been slower. I missed the version of myself who knew how to be present. And the hardest truth of all, I didn't notice what I was losing while I was losing it. If you're listening to this and thinking, I still have time, please hear me. Time feels unlimited until suddenly it doesn't. Happiness doesn't arrive when everything is perfect. That belief cost me decades. And there's one realization, one truth, that finally shattered everything I thought I knew about happiness. It came late, much too late, but it changed how I see everything now. That is what I need to tell you next. The moment that finally changed everything did not come with drama. There was no loud realization, no sudden collapse, No one sitting beside me saying the right words. It came quietly, the way truth often does, when you've stopped running from it. I was already old by then, not just in age, but in wear. My body moved slower. My hand shook slightly when I held a cup. My knees reminded me of every year I had pushed them too hard. But the real tiredness was deeper than that. It was the tiredness of a life spent chasing the wrong idea. One morning, I woke up with nowhere to be. No deadlines, no urgent calls, no plans demanding my attention. I sat on the edge of my bed longer than usual. The room was silent. Sunlight slowly crept through the window, touching the floor, then the wall, then my hands. I didn't reach for anything. I just sat there. And for the first time in my life, I allowed myself to stay still without guilt. That's when I noticed something I had ignored for decades. Peace. Not excitement. Not pride. Not satisfaction. Just peace. It felt unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable. And that scared me, because it made me realize how rarely I had felt it before. I spent my life thinking happiness had to be earned through effort, that if I stopped pushing, everything would fall apart, that slowing down meant losing momentum, that rest was something you deserved only after exhaustion. But sitting there, doing nothing, I felt more whole than I had in years. That moment cracked something open inside me. I began to look back, not with nostalgia, but with honesty. And what I saw hurt. I remembered conversations I rushed through, people speaking to me while my mind was already gone. I remembered laughter that faded because I didn't stay long enough to hear it. I remembered saying, "Not now," far too often. I remembered being loved, but distracted. There were moments when happiness had quietly tried to reach me. Moments that didn't ask for effort or success. Moments that only asked for presence. I ignored them, not because I didn't care, but because I believed they could wait. They couldn't. I used to think happiness was loud, something obvious, something you could point to and say, "There it is." But real happiness whispers, and if you're always chasing noise, you'll never hear it. I believed that once life became stable, I would finally relax. But life never truly settles. There's always another responsibility, another worry, another goal. If you wait for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy, you will wait forever. I did. I spent years building a future that never arrived, because the future is always one step ahead of you. And while I was chasing it, my present quietly slipped away. The hardest truth I had to accept was this: nothing was ever missing from my life, except me. I was there physically, but mentally, emotionally, I was always somewhere else. Planning, worrying, preparing, waiting. Happiness was never something I needed to find. It was something I needed to stop running past. At 83, I no longer measure my life by what I achieved. I measure it by what I noticed, and I wish I had noticed more. If I could speak to my younger self, I wouldn't tell him to work less. I would tell him to be there more, to look people in the eyes, to listen without thinking about what comes next, to understand that moments don't repeat themselves. I thought discipline meant denying myself joy. I didn't understand that discipline could also mean protecting it, protecting time, protecting connection, protecting stillness. You don't need permission to be present. You don't need success to deserve peace. You don't need to earn the right to enjoy your life. I learned that too late. If you're watching this and feeling constantly busy, constantly tired, constantly behind, please listen carefully. Happiness is not waiting for you at the end of your struggle. It is available to you right now, in this moment. If you allow it, slow down just a little. Look around just long enough. Listen without planning your response. Those small choices are not distractions from life. They are life. I was completely wrong about happiness, but you don't have to be. If this story made you pause, even for a second, then it has already done what I hoped it would. Don't wait for later. Later is not promised. Be here, now. Thank you for listening.